welcome to the Science Faction Podcast, where science meets fact meets fiction.
This is Science Faction for the week of October 26th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Stephen Dominguez, and with me today, two guys. One of them's already dressed for Halloween, so I don't know what that's about.
Is that me?
Yeah, it was you. What's your name?
Okay,
Introduce
Devon
yourself.
Devon Craft.
What's his name?
Say his name!
You've known this guy for how many years, Stephen? Mr. Say Your Name.
I forget. He has so many names.
He does have a lot of names.
I guess so.
The butcher of San Francisco.
That's one of them. No, Soulless?
Soul Crusher.
Soul Crusher. Soul Crusher of San
Yeah,
Francisco.
right.
That's one of them. That's not even a lie. Like, there's a whole story behind that we're not going to get into. So Devon's here. Devon, you sent us a picture.
I'm Ben Lawless. Hi, everybody.
Ben's also here. Benny, you haven't dressed up yet.
No, I've really got to work out on my costume because I've got an entire school staff depending on me to be part of a planned.
Oh no!
Staff wide. Yeah.
What is it?
I got to figure that out.
What is it?
Well, unfortunately, like a member, I don't know if he's listening or not. These guys, Flint, can you hear me? No, he can't hear me. He's in the other room reading right now. So, yeah, we all voted on what we were going to do, and we're doing idioms.
Idioms,
yeah. So, we're all dressing based on it. So, think head in the clouds, or
sure.
3 of the staff members are going to be 3 peas in a pod.
Don't break a leg.
Right. Yeah. Right? Exactly. Yeah.
That's a good one. You just limp around. Be like, I broke a leg.
Easy. Yeah. So mine's going to be butterflies in the stomach.
Ah. Okay.
So
are you just going to be like?
How are you representing that?
I think I'm going to draw a bunch of butterflies, cut them out, and then attach him with what do you call those?
Wires.
Yeah. The wires that are all fuzzy.
Oh, pipe cleaners.
Oh, pipe cleaners?
Pipe cleaners, yeah.
Yeah, fuzzy wires. Good old fuzzy wires. I was going to say you could make some vomit, some butterfly vomit. And you could what is all that you're throwing up? Well, I had butterflies in my stomach, I got to get them out.
It took me a moment to get where you were going, man. I'm not gonna lie.
We all float down here. All right. So first of all, I want to bring something up that was brought to my attention on the Patreon beginning of this episode. So most people, in fact, everybody on Earth except for 2 people, has not heard that. So if you have if you have something to say to us, you say it to my face. If you want, no. In the kindest way possible. If you have comments or what's besides comments? Critiques, comments, corrections, all the C words. If you want them to go to the podcast, email us sciencefactionpodcast@gmail.com.
There you go.
That would be a great place. That way we can all see them and all react to them. We'll read them on air. It'll be a fun time for everyone. It'll be more content, another C word, which is what we're in the business of, I guess.
And I think this is just for all of you. I mentioned to Stephen that sometimes a couple of listeners do text me about feedback for the show. It doesn't get to Stephen.
It doesn't
I'll
count.
tell you that right now.
No.
Well, I just don't pass it along because you're texting me right after.
Well, you've got 12 jobs and a dog that's on his last leg. You're busy.
You're talking about a conversation I had 4 days ago. I can't remember what I ate for breakfast.
None of us remember what we said last week. It goes in one ear and out the other. I'm sorry.
And it's yeah. But I used to listen to this show too.
Oh, it's awful. This is a terrible show. Don't listen to us. So anyways, I'm not saying like, oh, don't say anything. Just like, hey, share with all of us, share with the whole class. I'm very curious what people think about the show because we don't get many comments or critiques or any of that stuff. So that's fun. That's good stuff. I appreciate it. Send it my way. Our way. Really, it's my way. Yeah. Okay. So this is another episode. This is Science Faction podcast about science and science fiction. And Devon, you texted us a picture, and I want you to explain it to the people.
Okay. Well, so last night, Jen and I went to a Halloween party. And it was an interesting party because we went to a party where we didn't know anybody because we were looking for people in the area who are not like really religious. So there's the club on Facebook. It's the Non-Religious Alliance of East Texas.
Oh.
And
Wait.
their Facebook page, what?
The non-religious, what was it?
Alliance of East Texas.
The NREIT? NREIT?
Yeah, I guess. They used to, like, when I joined the Facebook, actually, the group, like, over a year ago, and they had a different name. I think it was like it was something a little bit more
cool people that hate God. Is that what it was called? Is that why you joined?
Like they wanted to make it a little bit more open. So just non-religious as opposed to being like anti-religious.
Yeah,
but obviously it's going to be a group of people who are not religious and probably more liberal-minded. Which around here, East Texas is very, very Christian, very fundamentalist Christian and conservative. So.
Well, what's great about that? I want to interrupt and say what's great about this is that they can be religious people. It's just this group is a non-religious group, right? So you can be religious, but you're going to go here and know that you're not going to be talking about that stuff. Nobody cares.
I'm curious.
Or if it's talked about, it's probably not going to be talked about in a friendly light.
Yeah, probably not.
Like don't get offended if we're like, oh, by the way, don't push your religion on us, or more like technical things about like just there's so much stuff. I'm not bore everybody with everything, but anyway, friendly
but
to
you were like, let's go to a party where I can say like, hey, I did read that book and I know nobody cares, but I'm reading it.
So yeah, we went to that. It was fun. It was really rainy and actually stormy. Like it was lightning and stuff. And the place we went to, like the house itself was pretty small.
That was God being angry at what you guys were doing.
And that's I thought that. I didn't make that joke, but I was gonna. That joke did cross my mind last night. But no one would have been offended. No one would have. I was just like, it wasn't. The time never really presented itself to make that joke. Anyway.
Yeah. You're a sniper with your jokes.
Yeah, but the thing is, it was more. It was kind of meant to be outdoors because the house that it was held at was kind of a small house, but had a really big backyard. And in the like post for the party, it was like, oh, we'll have a lot of outside chairs and grilling and stuff. But since it was a thunderstorm, we actually did end up hanging out on the patio, which was covered, and so it was mostly just like everybody at a long table under a patio outside, which was nice because I was worried I was going to get too hot because I was wearing a Starfleet uniform.
There it is.
That had like multiple layers. Yeah.
It looks thick.
So it was nice to be outside. Yeah. So that's the other part of it is I bought, because I've had the Next Generation uniform for a long time, which is just the shirt. It's red. But I wanted to get because my favorite uniform is the one that I finally bought, which was the one from the later seasons of Deep Space Nine and from the Next Generation movies, where it's got the gray on the shoulders, and then underneath you've got the shirt that's different colors to show what department you're part of.
All hail the best. I mean, arguably the best Starfleet uniform.
It looks real crisp, real nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I just always really liked it. So yeah, I got that, and I was wearing that. And it's funny because the guy who opened the door was wearing a original series Spock blue with the ears.
Wow, you found your people.
Arguably the best.
And I had 4 pips on the thing, which is captain, and at least 3, maybe 4 people knew that. Like they were like, "Oh, I see your pips. You're a captain." Like people who weren't dressed like anything Star Trek, but they all knew what like the pips, like the ranking on the pips. So I was like, "Wow, yeah, people really know."
Everyone was
So it
signaling
was
to
cool.
you, man. They're like, "Yeah, Star Trek. I get it. That's
You're with
awesome."
your people.
So okay, so you went to a Halloween party with a bunch of strangers, except for you all had something kind of in common. Did you have fun? Was that cool or was that weird?
Oh yeah, it was fun. Yeah, I mean, the
No.
thing is, like, the party itself was kind of like sitting at a table talking to people, and then after a while, you've kind of talked to the people around you. But it was
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, since it wasn't standing and mingling, it was kind of hard to like go talk to other people.
Oh,
So
right.
it was just that's just the way it worked out because of the circumstances. But no, I mean, everybody there was really nice and really cool, and a lot of them, like, people would play board games and were like, "Oh yeah, we're having a board gaming night this time," and so
That's
that's fun.
awesome, man.
Right on.
Cool.
Right on. That's very cool. I do want to say, like, uh my little joke earlier about, hey, you've read a book and nobody really cares. I do care. I was really enjoyed hearing you talk about the Bible a couple of episodes back. Uh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was specifically talking about, like, these people that you're probably hanging out with, probably, like, I don't know, but yeah.
Well, what's funny is a lot of people like that, non-religious people, if they're, I mean, or atheists, if they're really into it being atheists, they probably have read the Bible and probably understand it better than a lot of people who claim that they follow the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what you did this weekend. Ben, did
Which
you
I'm 25% through the Bible because I found a website that has, like, they've broken down basically how many words are in each book of the Bible and what percentage of that of the entire Bible, and if you're up through that book, what percentage of the Bible itself you're through. So I'm in Judges, which once you finish Judges, you're over 25% through with the Bible.
Okay. So you're
Okay.
Which
about a quarter holy.
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what Devon did this weekend. Ben, did you do anything fun this weekend? Or did you work
Well, I
another
mean,
job?
why not both?
Why not both?
Well, Stephen, we are in the midst of um,
A hostile
fundraising.
government takeover.
Well, there's that, yes,
It's
but
a song.
fundraising for the school
Yes.
that we both have children to go to,
Mhm.
and and so part of that we run like a social night out at a local community center where we have some chaperones and we have a bunch of kids come, and this was the first time that this board had done one.
Right,
And
because you're the
so
president now. You should have all the
I'm
pips.
I should have all the pips. Yeah, I get saluted all the time. This last one went so well, Stephen.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Did your kiddo have fun?
yeah. She came home just bursting with the fun she had. Yeah.
That's super cool. It's good
Yeah.
to hear, because yeah, like, I have to admit that in previous years, every time I had one, like, that night I'd be a little shell shocked and be like, I'm never doing another one of these. And then a couple days later, like, that was kind of fun. Yeah, I can't wait for the next one.
Well, just so people have an idea of what you're dealing with, because I chaperoned once last year.
85 kids
There's
show up.
there's 85 kids in a community center that's
Yeah.
like one big room with a couple basketball courts and then a couple of quite a bit smaller rooms that different activities and stuff, and they're just kind of let loose to be kind of feral within
Yes.
limits. Oh boy.
Yeah. This time a little less than that time. This time, big shout out to Reese, who not only donated, like, the funds to rent out the community center this time. They also work there. So
Oh, beautiful.
yeah, they went out and they were with the kids in the gym once the gym opened up, and they kind of, like, led the kids through a bunch of different games. And
Oh wow, that's
way to
even
go.
better than that's great.
Yeah. And then we had a couple of new things going on. So we had one room where we fed the kids a bunch of pizza. All right.
Yeah.
So we had that. There's an activity room that has, like, a bunch of like pool and tabletop games and ping pong and just a lot of like a couple video game systems, around, and that's kind of always been there. But then they, since the last time we've done this year, they installed a kind of a conference center into one of the rooms. So there was a TV that had access to Disney Plus.
Oh,
so
that's
threw on
great.
some movies there, yeah, and then had like a bunch of like coloring stuff.
Is that
in there.
the room where the last time it was like your computer and projector?
Yes.
Yeah, that was
not enough audio.
right.
It was not loud enough.
Worked, but like it wasn't optimal. But to have a TV installed in there and internet access, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and then they also opened up the back yoga room for like dance party room, where they just had like a really loud speaker and some sweet vibes going with the tunes, and then we put up like we kept the room dark, but we had a lot of noise reactive lighting.
Oh, okay. It all flashed with the music, that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. And so shout out to butterchurnviz.com.
What?
Heard of this site? Okay. All right. I'll put a link to it in the show notes. Butterchurnviz.com. If anybody remembers the music player Winamp, then you'll remember that they had a visualization portion of it, which was called Milk Drop or Geis, and it was a bunch of just audio reactive visualizations that just were super psychedelic and trippy and weird and cool. Well, this is a website where they took every single one of the generative logarithms that made those things from Winamp all back in the day, and they ported it into a website that is activatable via your microphone on your computer.
Wow.
Yes.
That's great.
And it is so cool. So what I did was I took my the flashy woo woo, the God, what is
flashy woo woo? The projector?
You said the word. The projector that I
Dude,
have.
you've had a long day. Projector's not a hard word.
Man. Yeah, I have had a long day, a long couple of months. So I took the projector and I was like, okay, I started setting it up in there. And one of the kids was like, can you aim it towards the floor?
Oh.
And I said, yes, I can. And the kids loved like rolling around on the floor with all the psychedelic stuff going on around them. They were loving it.
That's the closest thing to doing a bunch of drugs that they've ever been.
Right? Yeah.
Rolling around on the psychedelic floor.
So, anyhow, the entire night went really, really well. Super great. Made a good amount for the school because we charged $25 a head for it. And it like I left feeling like it was just the most positive. Like I wasn't drained afterwards. It was just so good.
Awesome. Yeah, that was a rough go.
The last one, the one that I asked you to help out with.
Yeah, which it wasn't like terrible, right? Like in the long list of terrible things I've had to do, it's not there. It's not up there with those, but it was like I need to decompress after this. That was a lot. Was the vibe. And I was thinking about when at that first PTSA meeting, and we were talking about this, I thought to myself like, oh, I'm probably going to volunteer for this. But then when the time came, my beautiful wife went out of town for a birthday event with her sisters or family down south. So I was solo dad that night.
Happy birthday, Martine.
Happy birthday, Martine.
Happy birthday.
I know you listen to the show.
She doesn't listen. I think she might have listened to episode like 3, maybe 4. It's been a while. Anyways, so she was out of town.
Episode 581, my friends.
Yes, so many episodes. It's ridiculous. What was I saying? oh, okay.
So you were thinking about volunteering, but you couldn't.
But I couldn't because I've got 2 kids, and one of them was going to be there, and the other one I had to take to her trunk or treat at her school. So luckily, we're doing shout out. Shout out to my my kid's friend's mom. agreed to bring her home, and we know that family pretty well now. So that was totally cool. So I was like, yeah, I just had to. I actually dropped her off at this mom's house like an hour before the thing started, because that's when the trunk or treat started. So that was cool because I got to drop her off, go to the trunk or treat, survive that barely, and then the kid was brought home to me later to be like, "Oh, it was so great, Dad. I ate a cookie before dinner, and then I had pizza." I was like, "What a wild time you had!" She even told me she was rolling around on the floor. She had one of the psychedelic trip out moments on your dance drug floor. Anyways, yes.
There were no drugs at the.
There were
at
no
the kids'
no.
night out.
That was complete. It was a joke.
Yeah, it was not.
No drugs.
I want to be very clear about this.
Yes. No.
You can trust us with your kids.
We'll just trip them out with lights on the floor. They're gonna freak out, man. Yeah, so yeah, the trunk or treat was pretty successful. Whole lot of K-pop demon hunters out there. There was my kid, my youngest, dressed up as one, and a couple of her friends did as well. And then we saw like maybe another 5. So I think I saw a total of like 7 or 8 kids dressed in that theme at the school event, which probably had a couple hundred kids. But like, well, maybe it was less than that. I don't know, whatever. So yeah, that's what I did. Earlier this week, however, and I texted you guys about this, and after this we're going to get to some sciencey stuff. This one's kind of on the border. So I watched Sinners.
Yeah.
Sinners is now on HBO. If you have HBO Max, you want to stream it, you can watch it there. Michael B. Jordan stars in that. You may know him as the Human Torch from one of the terrible Fantastic Four movies. Well, that was Fan Four Stick was what that one was called. He's a great actor though. He was also in Black Panther as the quote unquote bad guy.
Yeah.
Say that again, Devon.
The most relatable. Bad
Yeah, he
guy
said he was
ever.
Killmonger.
in, Black Panther. Yeah.
Yeah, which was, and like how Ben just said, yeah, one of the most relatable bad guys. You hear his story and you're like, well, yeah, of course you did what you did. That makes sense. Anyway, so he's a great actor. So in this movie, he plays twins. And
So we watched this over the course of the last 2 nights.
oh, so you've seen it now. Awesome.
We've seen it too. Yeah.
Cool. So there is it is a horror movie eventually. I like the idea of going into this movie not knowing that bit though, and just being like, oh, this is like a period piece. I knew about it.
Did you not know that then?
No, I knew.
You did.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
I did too. Yeah.
But I think it would have been more impactful if I didn't know that. It was just like, oh, this is a movie about these twins that had like, it's in the 1930s. They just got back from being in Chicago, and like they're running some kind of scheme, and they're getting like the locals together to like throw this party, and it has a total vibe to it, right? And same Ryan Coogler, same director as Black Panther, and he's done other stuff as well. I don't know off the top of my head. So anyways, I thoroughly enjoyed it. What we're dancing around is it's a vampire movie. But that kicks in about, I want to say like 2/3 of the way through the movie, maybe, or maybe around halfway point. It takes a bit until that part of it kicks in. And then at that point you've already, all of the main characters, and there's a quite a few besides the star, but they all get like some character development, some backstory. The whole thing takes place during the course of like one day. It's like one of those a day in the life type movies, like Clerks. Sinners is like Clerks. I thought it was great. I thought it was a fantastic movie. Devon, what did you think about it?
I really liked it. It was really, really well done. I knew it was a vampire movie, so that didn't shock me. I mean, I wasn't sure how that was going to play into it.
Yeah.
I think the vampire aspect of it was my least favorite part about it. I think it's like horror movies. Usually they're bad because there's not enough character development. So you don't really care what happens to the characters, and it's just like, it's a slasher film. That's all that matters. Good horror movies, they have more character development and have more to the story than just the horror aspects, and that can make them good depending on how you do it. This movie, it's like they were making like an Oscar-worthy movie and then they're like, but also it's going to be a horror movie. And I feel like they didn't necessarily balance the horror stuff as well as I would have hoped. Like they hint at it at the very, very beginning, so it's not just a complete surprise.
Yeah.
Um, but but then when it happens, I would have preferred if like the story had that element to it when it comes up, but the story kind of continues with it, like continue each individual character story, and they can deal with this other threat. But the way it plays out is kind of just all at once. It's like you were saying, it all happens in really one day, and so it's like when this happens, it also kind of happens, and then it's a standoff. It's interesting, but then it's resolved, and that's it. And then you kind of a lot of the storylines you've been following are important because of course people are affected by this thing that's happening, and then so when someone dies, it's like, or becomes a vampire, the character who hasn't become a vampire cares about that a lot more, and you understand why because you've seen their backstory.
And they do,
but it's also just like that's the end of their story, though. It's like you've set up this interesting story and it resolves that they become a vampire as opposed to resolving in some other more relatable way. But it's like From Dusk Till Dawn, but if you made it a like Oscar caliber movie.
So here's the thing. The vampire in the movie, so spoilers now, obviously, for Sinners. I'm gonna talk about it a little deeper now. The way the vampires work, you got standard vampire rules. You can't come inside without asking for permission. Garlic hurts you. Stake through the heart is the only way to kill you. They also seem to be like fast and strong, that kind of stuff.
The invitation is a big part.
That's a huge
can't
part.
Come into a house without being invited. Did you already say that?
Yeah, that was but they also have, and this is not, to my knowledge, a standard vampire thing, which is they all kind of have a shared group memory. They start to like understand each other, and like someone comes up like speaking another language that another one of the vampires that had turned was, I want to say, Chinese, and then another character walks up speaking Chinese. You're like, oh, because they're like sharing minds, kind of. So that was kind of interesting as well. But this was not a vampire story about vampires. The vampires stood in for something else, and because elements of racism. This is the 1930s in the South. I don't know. Did it say exactly where in the South? I want to say like Georgia, but I could be misremembering.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. They might have been,
or like just generic in the South.
I can't remember.
The Mississippi Delta.
Mississippi Delta.
Yeah.
Okay.
They said Delta a lot. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. I think it was about like gentrification, like the vamp, because when you're bitten and when you turn, you're now part of this group, and the vampires weren't like, haha, we're vampires. They were like, come with us. Things are going to be better. It was more like a convincing kind of thing. Like it wasn't about feeding, right? Because a lot of vampire movies, especially if a lower budget or whatever, or they don't put that much thought into it, a vampire attacks somebody else just to feed on them and it kills them. But this was more about like, we feed on you or we bite you. Now you're one of us. And now and life's better now. We're going to live forever. We're going to take over. It's going to be great. And so there was another level to that movie. And I think that's great.
The racism aspect of it.
The racism
of course. Aspect as well.
Yeah. That was huge as well. So I think, was it like the dangers of racism versus the dangers of gentrification? Like, is that what this movie was telling me?
Yeah.
I don't know. But it was a really good movie, and I highly recommend it.
Another huge theme in it too was music. I mean,
the
soundtrack,
music.
The whole thing, the score was really good. They had bunch of diegetic music with performances within the movie. Like the vampires were like a group of singing people, and then once people became vampires, they like all got together and like sung songs, which was pretty cool.
In harmony and stuff.
And it got really artistic at one point with one of the characters playing a song.
Yeah. Okay. So that happens before the vampire thing, because
it does. Yeah.
In the
it's
movie,
kind of a transition in a way.
it's got this kind of like supernatural
Even the narrator
vibe.
says that like that song drew him to this area.
Yeah, because there's the whole deal is that the main character is this kid that these twin brothers kind of say, "Oh, come along," and that's how we see the story. He's extremely skilled with the guitar, and it will do like he'll wake up early, get all his
And
work
he can
done
sing.
just so he can go and play. What's that?
And he can sing.
Oh yeah, sing. Yeah, yeah. He can play. He can sing, and so they get this party going, and he comes up on stage and he starts playing a song, and he's so powerful of a performer that he touches upon entities from the past and from the future. And as the camera's like panning around this warehouse that's been turned into a juke joint, right? That's what they call it, a juke joint. You see these like African dancers like will pop in, and the way it's done is they don't just like appear like a poof. It's like the camera pans over and it's like they've always been there, and the camera pans away and they disappear forever, like that kind of stuff.
And like a 70s style funk electric guitar player.
Yeah, a DJ at one point is like they're showing a DJ.
Then
It's
a
like
DJ, yeah.
it's like the spirit of music is connected through all of time. Like it's like this cool psychedelic thing, but it's only during the song. So it's like one of those like musical moments. Oh, everyone's singing and dancing together, but then no one talks about it. Like it kind of has that same vibe to it. Really, really cool. It hits on a lot of levels. And the special effect work, like the movie's so good that you don't even notice, and you kind of forget this one actor is playing these two characters because they're very different. And I watched a couple of things. There's some stuff available on the HBO about like the behind the scenes stuff, and then Corridor Digital on YouTube, they did a breakdown of the twin effects. And it's just like next level what they're doing. They used all the tricks in the book, like, filming them, side by side, to like doing deep fake recreations for their faces. Like it's all of these different tips and tricks, not tips, all these different tricks to make it look good. And except for the one scene that they're introduced, it's flawless. The first scene that they're in, I don't buy it. It's one of them. It's technically a great scene. It's the two of them leaning against their car. One of them rolls a cigarette, lights it, passes it to the other brother, who takes it, takes a puff, blows out the smoke, and passes it back. And we've got to remember, this is one actor doing both roles, and it's done almost perfect except for the handoff. It like. There's just something a little bit off. Like they had to adjust something because one of them's reaching out with the cigarette. The other one has to reach to that same point when nobody's there and grab it. And there was just something slightly, I'm picking the tiniest nit here. It's a little bit off. The rest of it, flawless. Anyways, we can move on. That's Sinners, HBO. Check it out. Let's move right along. Let's get to our future. Or now.
Now.
I feel like Devon should talk.
Yeah, it's Devon's turn.
Sorry, Devon.
Okay. This is
The story of a girl. What?
This week in near space.
This week in near space. Got it.
Okay. So have you guys heard the story of the commercial airliner that was potentially hit by space debris?
No.
Anyone heard about this? Okay. I saw it at a few sources. So the article I found for tonight is from Ars Technica about it, but I watched Scott Manley has like a 20-minute video on it, and I watched a video from Mentor Now, which is Mentor Pilot, is a really good YouTube video or YouTube channel that does a lot of breakdowns of different airline crashes. But they go into like a lot of detail, a lot of good graphics, and the guy who hosts it is a commercial airline pilot. They did a good job. And he has a side channel called Mentor Now, where he covers other aviation-related news stories. And this one he covered. So anyway, it was a flight from, let me bring it up. I think was it Denver to LA?
Okay.
Doesn't really matter. But so flight 1093. And what happened was it hit something while it was flying. It hit the the front of the airplane, right above one of the windows, right at the cockpit. And when that happened, it seems to have hit like the edge and the window, and the window shattered. Um, but it didn't lose pressurization because they have like 3 panes of glass. It's all like tempered glass. It's very strong. It was strong enough to where even though it broke the outside window, it even cracked all the different layers, and the inside shattered to the point where the pilot did get glass on him, and he like there's a picture of his arm and there's blood, but I mean he's fine.
Wow.
But it was enough to like cause the window, the inner window, to shatter, and with enough force to fly onto the pilot whose arm was there, and it did cut him. And it was actually one of the pilots, at least according to sources I've seen, who said it might have been space debris, just because they were at 30,000 feet, and it's kind of hard to think of what else could be at that height. That
Aliens.
could just,
Aliens. It was aliens.
aliens. Well, that's the thing. So there are. I've seen a few sources saying there are actually birds that do fly that high.
Okay.
Very rare, and they looked like most of them, they were species that were indigenous to Africa. So this was in the United States. This was, I think, over Utah.
Okay.
And I'm just going through the article for these facts because I've seen enough about this. I'm kind of just talking off the top of my head without using the article as references. But
that's okay.
So pretty sure it was Utah because I think they made the emergency landing at Salt Lake City. But so they got hit. They were able to. They didn't lose pressurization. They were able to go down to a safer altitude and land at the nearest airport, and everyone's fine. But what they hit, that's been the mystery. And it was actually Scott Manley, a popular YouTube creator and pilot, was among the first people to speculate online about the collision being caused by a wind-borne balloon, Windborne being the company, and they have weather balloons that they use to try to predict the weather. And he analyzes how it probably isn't space debris just because things from space either burn up in the upper atmosphere, and how unlikely it would be just to have a collision between space debris and an airliner. But also, it's always been thought that it's highly unlikely to have a collision between an airliner and a weather balloon. So the company that owned this weather balloon, Windborne, they were open, like as soon as this happened and people speculated that it was probably one of their balloons, they said that, it probably was one of their balloons. They operate in that area. And I think they lost contact with one of their balloons. So it kind of makes sense that it would be their balloons. And they had on their website, it's actually the FAQ on their website, which in this article says, which clearly was written months or years ago. They address several questions, including why don't wind-borne balloons pose a risk to airplanes? And the answer is, the quick answer is our constellation of global sounding balloons, GSBs, which we call Windborne Atlas, doesn't pose a threat to airliners or airlines or other objects in the sky. It's not only highly improbable that a windborne balloon could even collide with an aircraft in the first place, but our balloons are so lightweight that they would not cause significant damage.
Oops.
They also said, for example, we maintain active lines of communication with the FAA to ensure our operation safety, that our operations satisfy all relevant regulatory requirements. We also provide government partners with direct access to our comprehensive real-time balloon tracking system via our proprietary software. So, which I think if you're thinking about running into an air balloon, you might be thinking of the balloon itself, which, I think an airplane would just rip right through it, probably see it. And
what's
then
the material?
Keep going.
It's probably...
it doesn't say, but it's pretty lightweight. But I think what they hit was the sensor package that the balloon was carrying.
That would,
and even that is
more
pretty
sense.
lightweight. Yeah, but even that's pretty lightweight. But at the speed you're traveling, it's still going to cause some damage to the airplane. But like we saw, like it's fine. Like the airplanes are strong enough to withstand this damage. And even I would say, even if it was to like go in one of the engines, it probably would destroy that engine. But airplanes, especially airliners like a 737, can easily make a safe emergency landing on one engine. It's happened plenty of times.
Easily, Devon says.
Yeah.
We got to post that in every airport. Popular YouTubist. Popular in quotes. YouTubist. Devon, not YouTubist. Podcastist. Anyways.
I think it's interesting though
Trekkie
here.
podcast
So
is-
okay, like looking at the article, they do link to when they originally like covered it on Ars Technica, and the original article has not been updated to say, hey, update, we figured it out. Now, also,
Yeah, that article has like images of every. Yeah, that article actually is better. Now that I went back to that article because you mentioned it, and yeah, you see the pictures of where the airplane was damaged, and you see the pilot's arm where it's kind of cut up.
Yeah. Now, this is fascinating. Is that the title of this article seems pretty definitive, but the text in it is like it appears to be answered in the form of a weather balloon. So I'm not sure that we're completely out of the woods in terms of like whether or not this is definitely it, but it's like I'd say this is definitely like a leading theory. It makes a lot of sense.
Well, I think I mean,
Was there anything to recover?
sure, I don't think you'd recover anything. I mean, it would just
Unless
been
it's stuck to the plane.
destroyed. Yeah. Well, they also said it's probably not a bird because there's no like blood and
Feathers.
guts.
There wasn't a big poof of comedic feathers.
Yeah. Well, I think this happened at night. Am I wrong about that?
Oh.
Another reason why I think like the pilots didn't really see anything coming, but I could be wrong about that. I'm not sure it says what time of day it happened.
Huh.
But even so, even if traveling at those speeds and could easily not see that, especially if you're like at cruising altitude and you're on autopilot, you're not like, as a pilot, you're not just looking out the window constantly, be like, is there anything we're going to hit? I just got to stay on alert. It's like, easily be like, okay, it's on autopilot. I'm here. I'm checking instruments. I'm looking at, the flight log. I'm doing other stuff. And then all of a sudden you hit something like.
Yeah, it's fascinating too, because like all of the way we talk about these things is fascinating, because they're always talking about like, oh, this is what struck the plane. No, this was potentially a stationary object that the plane at however many miles an hour hit. The plane was not struck. The plane did the striking. Like, let's be honest here.
There's whenever I hear anything about like something hitting a plane, my mind automatically and immediately goes back in time to Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, when Henry Jones uses his umbrella to scare the seagulls to make the Nazis crash their planes. And that fills my heart with joy.
Nice.
All right. Let's see. We're at the 42-minute mark. Should we shift ahead to book club, or does Ben want to say things?
I have a quick thing.
Okay, Ben's got a quick thing. Let's go.
Yeah. So this is from an article from Maurcyz.com, MAURYCYZ.com.
Like a Polish name?
No ad blocker, possibly, yeah. No ad blocker detected. So the basic idea here is, for all you people who are running websites, you probably think like, oh, hey, it's probably a good idea to have like ads, and if you are relying on ads for your website, you're probably it's probably a good idea for you to put up a little note when you detect that an ad blocker is running, saying, hey, turn off your ad blocker from my site. I'll get a little bit of money,
Mm-hmm.
However, your site's probably an ad-filled hellhole with no real substance. Let's be honest.
Is ours like that?
No, ours does not have any ads.
Fantastic. Tell your friends.
Internet. Now it used to, back when it was being hosted on WordPress's free plan, WordPress.com's free plan. But I'm currently hosting it out of, it is my gift to the show and to everybody here. But like, honestly, internet ads are horrible.
Yeah.
The advertising industry is making the internet a worse place. And if you want to support your favorite web authors, send the money. $1 helps more than viewing ads ever would. Now, this guy, what he did on his website was he puts a little item up. If you don't have an ad blocker, it says no ad blocker detected. Consider using an extension like uBlock Origin to save time and bandwidth. Click here to close.
Wow.
And
I use uBlock Origin. That's a good one.
Oh, right on. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. You also use Pi-hole.
Yeah, I do. So that uBlock Origin on this website that you linked to blocked 2 ads.
Yep, and this is one of them because basically he wrote a little script that injects some content encouraging people to get an ad blocker if it's shown that the ad or the script isn't blocked, and the class name on the on the div just has a bunch of like ad, native ad, ad note hidden, all this stuff that like you would probably see from ads that are are usually blocked by this stuff. So I think that's a really neat and cool way to try to make the web a better place for people who maybe aren't in the know.
Can you put this on our website?
I could put it on our website.
You should do that, and then people have like a really cool example to go and see what this is all about at sciencefactionpodcast.com.
Stephen, as one who has 15 jobs,
yes,
I would recommend maybe someone else on this call.
I can try.
Oh no, Devon's gonna try. The internet's grandpa.
Hold my pips, says Devon.
I'm the captain here. I'll do it.
Yeah, look at me. I'm the captain.
There are 4 lights, or whatever it was.
There were 4 lights.
Yeah, I got it.
Anyhow, that's your future now. This is the now.
So there is a chance that if you go to our website, something will happen. Or you go to the links in the show notes. A small chance. Or there's a link in our show notes, and you can go check out this website on your own, as well as the website for Devon's news article. And with that, we're going to take ourselves a little break. When we come back, we'll be doing our book club. I hope everybody has read their copy of Planet Lion by Catherynne M. Valente. If you haven't yet, feel free to pause, look at the link in our show notes, and go read it. It is crazy pants. I'm not sure how much you're going to understand of our chat after the break unless you've read it. So with that, we will be right back. Oh, wow. Another free listener. Incredible. Look, I love that you're here. But let's be real, you could be getting so much more. Bonus episodes, unfiltered takes, behind the scenes chaos. All you have to do is join our Patreon at patreon.com/sciencefactionpodcast. Or don't. But if you don't, just know that somewhere in a parallel universe, a better version of you already has. And we're back.
Hello.
Hype.
And a big thank you to our patrons, Renee and Josh. You guys got a lot of additional stuff this mid-pod this episode.
There's some good chat. That should have been the podcast.
Yeah, I thought we'd already come back to the podcast.
It's so good.
Like we have to record more of this?
Yeah, you went to go to the bathroom and then and you didn't.
Look. Just as a quick spoiler, if you want to know what this Patreon stuff is all about, we talked about Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek story arcs, how they could start good and bad, vice versa. We talked about the Phantom Menace Lone Gungan edit. We talked about the Hunt for Ben Solo movie that's not happening. Like we had a discussion about all that stuff. So hey, patreon.com/sciencefactionpodcast. Get a little extra. Put a little extra inside your ears. Yeah. Anyways, it's time for book club. Next week.
Next week, Stephen, you found it. It's called The Game of Smash and Recovery by Kelly Link.
Yes.
And the link to this story by Kelly Link is in their show notes off of strangehorizons.com.
Yep, you can read the whole thing there. It seems like it's maybe half as long as what we read for this week's story.
And there is a link to the podcast, which theoretically would have what someone reading this for you. However, the link doesn't seem to work for me right now.
The link wasn't working for me either, which is why I didn't mention it. But hey, maybe the link works for you. We don't know.
I hope so. That's how I'm going to
otherwise
consume this
Devon
content.
Yeah, Devon ain't doing it.
The robots talk to me.
That's how I listened to Planet Lion.
How was
Did that
that?
help with your did that help with your understanding of the story there, Devon?
Well, so what's funny is I did read some of it, and then I listened to it, and no, I think it was confusing either way.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. Well, so
I still think I got the gist of it.
Catherynne M. Valente is the internationally best-selling author of over 40 works of science fiction, fantasy, and horror. Has won the Hugo, the Nebula, Otherwise, Lambda, Locus, and Sturgeon awards, and she's written this story called Planet Lion off of UncannyMagazine.com, and from Uncanny Magazine issue 4. It's long, it's confusing.
But it's
Planet Lion.
It's long, it's confusing. It's Planet Lion. That was good, Devon. It confusing, yes, but it also makes sense. It's not like sometimes you read something like, this is confusing, this makes no sense. This is confusing. It makes sense, but it's confusing. All right, Planet Lion. To break it down, we got to break this thing down because the story is told from millions of points of view, literally. But mostly it is reports, looks like from humans, and then stuff from the minds of aliens, and then it goes back to another strategic analysis, and then back to the alien minds, and then the letter of application. So you're getting two stories being told in parallel. That's always a little confusing.
The minds of the aliens. So these are cat-like, lion-like aliens.
Yes.
That have some kind of hive mind and are being informed, or like they're taking on the minds and memories of inhabitants, of like human inhabitants that have come to the planet.
That they've consumed, right? That's how
Yes.
it's been incorporated into their minds, is that these humans have been eaten by these lions, but then the minds of these humans still remain in the lion. And there is a scientific explanation for it by the end.
Yeah. A quote from the beginning here. Imagine a giant six-toed, enthusiastically carnivorous marsupial lion with the devil's own camouflage, and you'll have it about right. Just big old kitty aliens. So
the humans are there in order to try to turn these into soldiers.
Well, eventually we get to the soldiers.
But they're not turning the lions into soldiers, right?
Yes.
I thought they. Okay.
So
misunderstood.
Okay, so the way that I understand this story is you read the reports, so you get the point of view of the humans, right, the invaders. And then you have the minds of the aliens. So the minds of the aliens are really interesting because it's like a hive mind, and so you're reading it as a hive mind. And it's also starts off with kind of more limited understanding, and then the understanding grows as you go forward, and there's reasons for that. They also have like the names of things that they use are after they've consumed it. Like one lion called Yttrium drinks from the watering hole and digests the small god medical officer. So I interpret that is that there's one lion who's taking on the personality of Yttrium, which is one of the minerals of that planet. Drinks from the watering hole means they are eating and consuming and becoming part of the small god, meaning the aliens that came down, that it's calling itself medical officer, and that is the rank of the person that they ate. So confusing, but it makes sense. There's a lot of translation that needs to happen in your own mind to understand what's happening, and you have to understand these aliens as a group. There is no individual, and that takes some doing, because that's not how humans think. So you get to read all this stuff as a group mind. As it goes on, the human side of the story turns into, hey, we have developed this, I don't know, what was it? Medicine, a virus, a sludge strand, right?
Sludge strand, yeah.
Telekinetic sludge strands, which is like, it's like nanotech or something, right? They're putting it down into the world to try to brainwash or otherwise get these alien cat things, to learn military maneuvers so that they can be used as disposable soldiers. So with that information, if you go back to the beginning and read from the cat's point of view, I think this story starts with them ingesting this stuff, or like starting to turn from however they are normally, quote unquote, to then being changed by this sludge strand stuff. So, because as it goes, they talk about there's like more understanding and more like tactics, and also the people, and this is where it gets like super sci-fi, the people who have the human people with the tactics in their minds that they're ripping out and turning into the sludge strand stuff. Part of their tactics and things they're trying to teach the aliens are also tied and interwoven with their own memories and emotions. So
we cannot separate the engineer's understanding of propulsion from the engineer's boyfriend leaving her in the middle of her course, the VR game she played incessantly to blow off steam that summer, the terrible coffee at the shop near her dormitory. We may yet find a way to isolate the knowledge without the person, but it won't happen soon, and I understand that time is of the essence.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as these cat aliens are eating people, right? They're consuming not only their information about how to be a combat squad, but also all of their baggage. And so they start shouting not quotes. They start shouting stuff like, Nathan, this is a blank life, and you know it. We should have majored in literature. One line called Tantalum roars. Another, form up, before answering, yeah, you ever tried to write a poem, Izzy? It like, so
Yes.
like all that stuff is tied together, and then it is a bit of a slog to read. However,
did you read or listen to it?
I read it. I did not listen to it.
Okay. Yeah, I listened to it, and now I'm reading the end of it.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't get through the whole thing before.
It kind of, It kind of ends with them saying, "This was a failure, and let's get out of here." And then there's one more bit from the cats after that, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, they want to quarantine the planet, and then it's like it goes to the future a little bit to show the future of the lions' civilization.
Yeah, I would buy that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Or because like all the dead lions are gone, so there's like less noise in the psychic stuff.
Yeah, in their minds. It's
in the profound togetherness of 9 million lions breathing in unison.
9 million. Okay, that's not insignificant. All right, so that's what the story was. What did you guys think about it, Devon? I want you to go first.
Okay. I wish I had taken the time to read it and digest it properly. I know when you listen to books sometimes it kind of depends on what you're doing and how into the story you are to determines how much you really get out of it. I recently read an actual physical copy of a book, which was a complicated with my hands, with my eyes and hands.
It's like a baby's toy.
Which Yeah, which was Something Deeply Hidden by Sean Carroll, which was primarily about the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. And, reading it, I was able to, if I read a paragraph and I was like, I really like the way that paragraph sums up this information, I would reread it. Or if I didn't understand it, I'd be like, you know what, I'm going to reread that section because I really want to understand this, which is something you don't really do. You could technically do with audiobooks, but you're not. Like, you're doing stuff and you're listening to it, and you're not going to like go back and like re-listen to one little part. So I kind of wish I had done something maybe more with like that with this. Like, if I had set aside the time to be like, I really want to interact with this material and understand it. But so I didn't do that, but I got the gist of the story. I got the themes and everything. But I enjoyed it. I like something that's different and that's actually alien, and it doesn't feel like the standard sci-fi story of just aliens interacting with humans, or humans ruining a new civilization. Like, all that stuff's interesting, but this is able to add more layers to it, which is fun. So I thought it was really well done. I liked it.
It's rare that we get a story from an alien's point of view that feels truly alien. Yeah. It's easy to say, oh, they're like humans but pointy ears and they like logic. It's like, okay, it makes it easier for you to understand, but it doesn't feel alien. This felt completely alien, right? You have to stop and really think about how to translate what these alien cat things are saying and doing to understand them in a human way. And that is super rare in my reading adventures. So that to me was amazing. Ben, now that you've heard a couple different things, and perhaps you've finished the book, the story, what did you like it? Did you not like it? What didn't you like?
It was a poem.
Oh, okay.
And as you know, I happen to like poetry.
You hate poems.
There are some types of poems I don't like so much, and this is one of them.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's so a lot of times
they need to be pithy, short and pithy. Get to the point.
When you gotta work for it.
I want a joke. I want to laugh. Throw a pie.
when you gotta work for it, sometimes it's not like it's something that's like worthwhile for the reader or the writer to write, but maybe not so worthwhile for the audience to consume. And so this was feeling like that as I was listening to it. It just felt like a very long, it just felt like a very long poem, very well written, incredible dialogue, like every single sensory point of it, like the little shards of storylines I was getting. It was really interesting, and I was very much invested in it. I was going to finish listening to it, not just because we I would have finished listening to it if this show started 30 minutes later.
Oops.
I had my timing all set up and everything. Just the timing didn't work out. So, yeah, I'm conflicted because it is not how I would write poetry or even a story like this. But
the poetic
throughout it,
sorry, I'll let you finish.
Yeah, but throughout it, I was still like, oh, what is happening? What's going on? This is I'm starting to kind of like trying to piece it together, and what I was thinking it was not what it ended up being, what they ended up saying at the end of it. But it's still like the mystery of it did keep me going. However, it's one you got to work for.
Yeah, this story requires your attention.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't think the author was like, I'm going to write a poem. I think it's to convey the feeling and emotion and thoughts of these lions that aren't human, but that are having human experiences or remembering human experiences, the only way to get that across is in more of a poetic fashion. Because if you wrote in prose and were more upfront and tried to describe it in particular, you would lose some of that alien feeling. I think,
True. Yeah.
I think the poetry aspect of it wasn't that the author wanted to write poetry, just that that's what made the most sense to get across this idea.
Throughout the whole thing, I kept thinking this better be paying off. And thankfully it does. Right? Just it doesn't seem to have like it happens all at once, not like gradually. Right? Like that's an interesting thing for me.
The story does throw you in the deep end and does not explain
Yeah.
itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Until it finally explains itself, until you
Right.
have a bit of exposition. You don't find out throughout the course of hearing everything that's going on, what's going on. You find out about it in just one block of exposition right at the end.
Yeah.
And
I
that
mean, they
I
could
think
have even. Sorry.
yeah, I mean that I would say would be like something that I'm not as into, but I think it was a pretty good, just really good story. I wish it wasn't just the exposition at the end. I wish that it was like building on it in a different way. Maybe I don't know. Definitely worth our time. We've read other things that were not worth our time.
Yeah, for sure. Looking
Recently,
at you, Guillermo del Toro.
right. Recently, after watching The Naked Gun, I started watching Police Squad with my son. I think I mentioned this a while back, and it's a great show. Only aired 6 episodes back in 1982, and evidently it was canceled. Leslie Nielsen said that it was canceled because viewers had to pay close attention to the show in order to get it. Like the viewer had to watch it in order to appreciate it. And that was something that in 1982, the ABC Entertainment president, Tony Thomopoulos, was like, this comedy show that's played straight by all the actors, but is absolutely bonkers. Nobody is understanding the humor because they have to actually pay attention to get it.
Yeah.
I finally watched. We watched the new Naked Gun. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Check out the show.
Awesome.
Yeah, because Police Squad's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, because if you like Naked Gun, it's just half-hour episodes that are
like
that
I've been
vibe.
watching like a ton of The Simpsons, as I've said.
Yeah.
And I can tell, like, the Simpsons writers, certainly the early writers were influenced by that kind of comedy. Like,
Right.
I could see some similarities.
That kind of deadpan, straight man kind of comedy.
Right.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. And after it was canceled, TV Guide magazine called the explanation for the cancellation, quote, "the most stupid reason a network ever gave for ending a series." So flash forward here to now and tonight, where I'm saying this is a story that you really have to work for in order to get to. I understand that, like, that probably it's actually really good for us to read stories where we have to work for it a little bit. Like it's good to have this every once in a while, because this story, as much as it is not pop story, it is literature.
Yeah. 100%.
So
I want to read one more excerpt from the story, just so people can kind of understand what we're grappling with here. One lion called Yttrium crosses into the part of the steel veldt where the husks of giant red paw fruit lie broken open. The small god medical officer pushes the word radioactive sludge pack engine core into her soft palate. Other lions stand in formation. One of them carry the small god medical officer. All of them crackle with the musk of aggression. Their mouths glow blue. One lion, called Yttrium, experiences the sensation of a door opening and closing in a wall of ice. The experience takes place in her chest and in her muzzle. One lion called Yttrium stops. She becomes 600 lions. 600 lions called Emma roar. Like, yeah, that's going to take you a bit to unpack what's happening. Most of that stuff, to me, makes sense. I never understood the wall of ice reference, but I think everything else there I understood. So that's what we're talking about with the story. Totally worth it, though, to put the effort in, I think.
I think it's probably better to read it than to listen to it.
Also, so if you read it, the small gods that they keep talking about, like medical officer, that's all in caps and one word. And then pushes the words radioactive sludge pack engine core. Those are all italicized. So that's like, and all of the human parts are also italicized. So there's a communication between the two different types to like understand that medical officer who's a human told these cats what that giant red paw fruit actually is, a radioactive sludge pack engine core. It's that kind of stuff. Like you have to pay attention. This is not an idle story, which is great. You got to have those every now and then to just kind of sit down and dive into. It's like Ben said, it's literature. Okay, with that, I'm going to call this meeting adjourned. I think we've accomplished all of our points, and we're going to move on with life. So, Devon, do you have any final thoughts you want to leave us with?
No.
Okay. Ben, do you have any last words?
Well, I mean, just like many Americans these days, I was in my interview for Australian citizenship the other day. They asked if I had any criminal record. I said, "Oh, is that still a requirement?"
Good night, everybody.
This has been the Science Faction Podcast. Tweet to the host at SciFact Podcast. Email them at sciencefactionpodcast@gmail.com and visit sciencefactionpodcast.com for more episodes.